All right, so we're going to talk about the Pythagorean theorem. In simple general terms, the Pythagorean theorem states that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And let's go ahead and label the triangle. We're going to say that this is side A, this is side B, and this is side C. We can't, because this side C is, we call it the hypotenuse, it's the longest line in a triangle, the longest side in a triangle. Because it's diagonal and it's not you can't just count the units. We don't know how many units long it is based off of the drawing. We could get a ruler out and figure this out. Maybe we'll do that in class, just to prove this to ourselves, I guess. Anyway, in right triangles, we can use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. It does have to be a right triangle. We have to have one 90-degree angle. There are other ways of doing this, but it gets more complicated if it's not a right triangle. But in right triangles, we can use a squared plus b squared equals c squared to figure out a missing side. So if we're given two sides of a triangle, we can figure out the third side using the a squared plus b squared plus equals c squared, or the Pythagorean theorem. And this is something that you will come across a lot throughout the rest of your school career, at least, if not beyond. And it's kind of fun. You can use it to find heights of things and where the base of the ladder is. Just kind of fun questions. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Just an example, and I'm going to try and explain it. The a squared plus b squared plus c squared, this is what you need to know and be comfortable with and know how to rearrange it, because sometimes they're going to give you C and B and ask for A, or C and A and ask for B. It won't always be looking for C. Okay. So this triangle right here, let's go ahead and count. I'm just going to count the spaces for the base. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the base of this triangle is 6 units. The height, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is a height of 8. And we're looking for side C. We don't know what side C is. And so we can use the Pythagorean theorem. So we'll go ahead and go through those steps first, and then I'm going to try and explain why this works. So let's look at a squared is 6 squared. B is 8, so that's going to be 8 squared equals c squared. And we don't know what c is. That's what we're trying to figure out. 6 squared is 6 times 6. That is 36. 8 squared is 8 times 8, which is 64. That equals c squared. 36 plus 64 is 100. So 100 is c squared. To get the c, we want c, we don't want c squared. The opposite of c squared is the square root of c. So if we take the square root of both sides, remember this is an equation, so anytime we have an equation, we can do whatever we want to it as long as we do it to both sides. The square root of 100 is 10, so c equals 10. So per the Pythagorean theorem, the side c equals 10. Okay, that's going to be enough for this video. I'm going to do another one, continue on with this, but just to give a break.